Footage of the Ukrainian army's operation to liberate the village of Sichneve in the Dnipropetrovsk region has been released. The village was cleared of invaders in early October by the Shkval assault unit of the 141st Mechanized Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces. The attack was carried out quickly, and the invaders were forced to retreat, suffering heavy losses. As a result of the operation, 50 invaders were killed and 8 were captured. Recall: the defense forces of Ukraine are making territorial gains in the Dnipropetrovsk region. DeepState analysts have updated their combat map. According to their data, the Ukrainian Defense Forces have cleared the villages of Sosnovka, Novoselivka, Sichneve, and Khoroshevo in the Dnipropetrovsk region. However, they note that the enemy has advanced near Sosnovka. The map has been updated. Ukrainian Defense Forces have cleared Sosnovka, Novoselivka, Sichneve, and Khoroshe. The enemy has advanced near Sosnovka, DeepState reported. Recall: Russian forces are pressing their advance in central-eastern Dnipropetrovsk Oblast in an effort to disrupt Ukrainian supply lines that support adjacent frontline sectors, military analysts say. Even as attention shifted to other sectors to the east enduring heavier fighting, Russian forces continued to advance at a slightly faster pace in Dnipropetrovsk Oblast in recent weeks, Emil Kastahelmi, an analyst at the Finland-based Black Bird Group, which monitors open-source war footage, said. The large industrial region adjacent to Donetsk and Zaporizhia oblasts had not seen combat until June. Viktor Tregyabov, spokesperson for the Ukrainian military's grouping in charge of the area, stressed that advancing further across the vast open fields of Dnipropetrovsk Oblast, toward a key Ukrainian stronghold such as Pavlorad, would be difficult, especially now, as the trees provide less overhead cover due to the change of seasons. Tregyabov admitted that Russian forces are now present in some villages of Dnipropetrovsk Oblast but refrained from naming them, citing orders and security concerns. He said that Russian troops are launching assaults in small groups from Donetsk Oblast to the east, and then trying to cling to buildings in the villages.
Куда? Вот туда, там. Прикрывай, правая сторона. Прикрывай. Працюю. Двойки цинкуем в основном правую сторону. Заходи, заходи. Выходи! Поднятыми руками. Сзади контроль. Сюда, опускайся, опускайся. Кто там еще есть? Стой. Тут нема никого. Контроль. Ты офицер, да? Не, о чем вы говорите? Попали меня нахрен офицер. Его оставили нахуй, все отошли. Он не знает, что в школе, он здесь 3 дня только сидит в этой хате. Тут подвал сомнительный, мы сейчас гранаты закинем. Готовимся, собираем весь, абсолютно весь личный состав. Собираем всех калич, проводим все работы. Что-то людей что-то определить, когда отправишь, это молодежь, там, советом, силовой, соберут всех. Пусть там не собирать, отправлять на него. Село Сichneve, Дніпро, працював Shkval.
Yunakovka, in the Sumy direction, has become a mass grave for Russian occupiers. The futile attempt to hold the border village is resulting in heavy losses for the Russian armed forces. The Russian Z resource, Northern Channel, which is associated with the Russian armed forces, writes openly about this. If anyone asks what's going on in Yunakovka, the answer is one: complete madness. The soldiers don't live here, but have been living in burrows for 2 months now. What kind of rotation are we even talking about? They've forgotten the word here. Every trip for water or to pick up a 300th is not Russian roulette, but an almost guaranteed one-way ticket. Evacuation teams are suicide bombers. The sky is black with Ukrainian birds. FPV cameras and heavy bombers hang around the clock, dismantling any trench, any position. The Russian channel writes. He particularly complains about the work of the Ukrainian heavy UAVs, Baba Yaga. It feels like they, the Ukrainian Defense Forces, have wagons of these drones, while we'll skin you alive for every lost one. To practice FPV, you'd probably have to personally call the General Staff. They use 3 to 4 FPV drones per soldier, and they don't spare any expense. Severny Kanal reported. The situation is dire for the Russian armed forces in the Sumy direction, and with artillery. Artillery? Their guns are hitting, and no one can shut them up. We seem to have some, but as soon as we fire one shot, they fire a dozen in response, and then finish us off with drones. The propaganda channel complained. It also reported on the acute shortage of manpower in the Sumy region and the active use by the occupiers of so-called crippled regiments, untreated soldiers of the Russian armed forces. The situation near Yunakovka demonstrates how technological superiority in drones and well-coordinated artillery support can transform positional warfare into a battle of attrition, depriving opponents of the chance to recover and forcing them to change their operational plans. Recall, Putin's army attacks Ukrainian armed forces positions near Tetkino, Besalovka, Alexeyevka and Varachino. Ukrainian forces counter-attacked near Sadki, Yunakovka, Tetkino and Besalovka. A Z public group associated with the Russian Northern Group of Forces claimed that Putin's army lacks the reserves to continue active fighting in the Sumy region. According to a Russian war correspondent, Ukrainian armed forces drones are preventing Putin's army from transporting all of its infantry by boat across the Filinchchina River near Kondratovka. To reinforce the occupiers of the 30th Motorized Rifle Regiment who are fighting in the Alexeyevka area, the Kremlin decided to form a new unit from the Strategic Missile Forces. This fact demonstrates the enemy's acute shortage of infantry reserves. It is also known that units of the 106th Airborne Division have been fighting in the Yunakovka area for 2 months without rotation or evacuation. According to Z channels, a company with 20 to 30 men is considered fully staffed. However, new recruits suffer serious wounds after every battle and are taken out of action. Yunakovka, according to Russian war correspondents, still remains a grey zone.